Post-Soviet Russia, 1991 present. History of Russia, 1991 present. On Russia under Vladimir Putin takes the oath of office as president on his first inauguration, with Boris Yeltsin looking over. 2000. The economic and political collapse of the Soviet Union led Russia into a deep and prolonged depression. During and after the disintegration of the Soviet Union, wide-ranging reforms including privatization and market and trade liberalization were undertaken, including radical changes along the lines of shock therapy. The privatization largely shifted control of enterprises from state agencies to individuals with inside connections in the government, which led to the rise of the infamous Russian oligarchs. Many of the newly rich moved billions in cash and assets outside of the country in an enormous capital flight. The depression of the economy led to the collapse of social services. The birth rate plummeted while the death rate skyrocketed, and millions plunged into poverty, while extreme corruption, as well as criminal gangs and organized crime, rose significantly. In late 1993, tensions between Yeltsin and the Russian parliament culminated in a constitutional crisis which ended violently through military force. During the crisis, Yeltsin was backed by Western governments, and over 100 people were killed. In December, a referendum was held and approved, which introduced a new constitution, giving the president enormous powers. The 1990s were plagued by armed conflicts in the North Caucasus, both local ethnic skirmishes and separatist Islamist insurrections. From the time Chechen separatists declared independence in the early 1990s, an intermittent guerrilla war was fought between the rebel groups and Russian forces. Terrorist attacks against civilians were carried out by Chechen separatists, claiming the lives of thousands of Russian civilians. After the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Russia assumed responsibility for settling the latter's external debts. In 1992, most consumer price controls were eliminated, causing extreme inflation and significantly devaluing the ruble. High budget deficits, coupled with increasing capital flight and inability to pay back debts, caused the 1998 Russian financial crisis, which resulted in a further GDP decline. In 1999, President Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned, handing the post to the recently appointed Prime Minister and his chosen successor, Vladimir Putin. Putin then won the 2000 presidential election and defeated the Chechen insurgency in a civil war. In 2008, Putin took the post of Prime Minister, while Dmitry Medvedev was elected president for one term, to hold on to power despite legal term limits. Following a diplomatic crisis with neighboring Georgia, the Russo-Georgian War took place during 12 August 2008, resulting in Russia imposing two unrecognized states in the territory of Georgia. It was the first European war of the 21st century. In 2014, following a revolution in Ukraine, Russia invaded the neighboring country's Crimean Peninsula, contributing to the breakout of war in eastern Ukraine. The ongoing Russo-Ukrainian War steeply escalated on 24 February 2022, when Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It marks the largest conventional war in Europe since World War II, and was met with widespread international condemnation and expanded sanctions against Russia. As a result, Russia was expelled from the Council of Europe. Early history. The first human settlement on Russia dates back to the Old Yuan period in the early Lower